left, 5 King Braves. On our right, Blake Harper. We'll start with head coach Creighton McDermott.
A great game for us from a learning perspective. There's going to be a lot of things on film that we can take away, some positives and certainly some negatives. Obviously, we're trying to figure this roster out, figure out combinations. I was really curious to see how we would perform with the lights on. And, some guys perform better than others, and that's okay. But, to score 71 points on Iowa State with 65 or 6 possessions, whatever it was, they're a hard team to score on. And, I thought the first half our ball security, ball movement was really good. The second half, they were able to muddy it up a little bit more, and we coughed it up a little more than we needed to. So, but all in all, I think nobody got hurt, and we got a lot of guys on the floor. They played 11 guys, 10 minutes or more. So that gave us it's going to give us some really good film to evaluate.
Questions for the student athletes first.
Blake, what's not just tonight, but tonight as well? What do you feel like has made a difference for you the last week or two in terms of your level of comfortability and then performance-wise?
Yeah, I feel like just trying to find my way within the system and not forcing it. I feel like throughout the summer I was kind of trying to get my feet up under me, trying to figure out how I can implement winning. And I feel like these last 3 weeks in practice, I kind of just put myself aside and I would say do what the team I feel like needs me to do. And I feel like that's why it's got me my feet up under me a little bit more, got me a little bit more confidence, and my teammates have been helping me, talking to me a lot off the court and instilling confidence in me that they know I got it. So yeah, that's the best.
Nick, we had mentioned when we talked to you this offseason that it was going to be a bit of an adjustment going from Charlotte's system to here. How did you feel in your Creighton debut?
Honestly, I felt pretty good. Putting on his uniform in the first place was really surreal. Really a blessing from God, and I just think my coaches and teammates to instill confidence in me, and honestly, it felt really great.
Nick, to go 3 for 4 from 3, and to put up double figures, can you talk about how in an exhibition game, how that kind of increases your confidence going forward to the regular season starting next month?
Yeah, it's always nice seeing the ball go in the basket. Obviously, I was put in a position, by my teammates and coaches to, have good open shots, and I think that's the way that Creighton basketball is, unselfish play and taking the right shots, taking shots that are expected. I think I was able to do that and just, fortunate enough to knock some shots down tonight.
Blake, what did you want to show most tonight in your minutes, and how do you feel like you did in that regard?
Yeah, I just wanted to show how I can impact winning. I feel like, last year the ball was in my hands a lot, and, I feel like my job was to score. And I feel like now I'm at a point in time where the roster is so deep and it's so talented, and I trust every one of my teammates, like, for sure. And I feel like I went out there and I'm trying to show that I can fit right in. And whether it's not just scoring the ball, whether it's forcing turnovers or, helping on the defensive side and also taking the slack off, like Nick, my point guard, and then, just different guys out there on the court.
Nick, you guys went on a 23-0 run in that first half, with a bunch of different guys contributing. What's it like as a team when you go out there and you've got it rolling like that?
It feels great, honestly. Like I mentioned before, that unselfish play, everyone getting a touch, just moving the ball, everyone taking, expected shots, so that way we're able to, either get back, go rebound, whatever the case may be, taking those expected shots. And, like Blake mentioned, our team's really, really deep this year, so, anyone can get it going at any given time, honestly.
I don't think anyone was expecting an avalanche, especially without Jackson or Owen in the mix. How did you guys execute to that high of a level against a defense that is really hard to do that against?
Yeah, obviously we still putting things together, missing Jackson and Owen, but at the end of the day, I guess we had to step up today, knowing we were missing those guys, and when they do come back, I know they'll be ready to go, and we won't lose any steps. We'll keep pushing forward. So, just building off today, knowing that we were missing those 2 guys, and continuing to stack days.
We'll get 2 more for the student athletes.
Kind of on that same note, I know you guys were missing Jackson and Owen, but that first half stretch was that a preview of what the offense can be We heard so much about the offense all offseason. Was that just a preview of what it can be?
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's still really early. That's our first game together, so just still putting pieces together, missing two significant pieces of our team as well. So just continuing to build that chemistry, in practice. And we do a lot of things off the court as well that just builds trust and instills, trust in each other off the court as well. So that goes a long way. So, I think we're still getting our feet wet as a team and, just trying to build off tonight.
Like 13 minutes for JTT tonight. What do you see from him on the defensive end of the floor for you guys?
My boy, yeah. Definitely stepped up. And, I feel like we've been seeing JTT throughout the whole summer. He's one of the hardest workers on our team. He's going to bring it every day, whether it's his effort, his communication. And I was just proud of him. He got his shine tonight, and he played his butt off for sure.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, y'all.
Good job.
What's up, Mac?
All right, we'll do questions for Coach.
Just too quiet.
Preseason for you.
Coach, how high was Milan Momcilovic on your scouting report? And I think he started 2 of 10, made things really difficult for him. I guess how were you able to do that so
Yeah.
effectively?
I've got to watch the film. Did we do a great job or did he miss some open shots? And that's what we have to evaluate. And obviously he and Jefferson are, especially without Taman, are a big part of what they need to have happen to be successful. And they got 27 shots between them. They only made 9 of them. And again, did they miss shots or did we defend it? And that's the beauty of a game like this. I wish we didn't have to play them in November. That we would have never played this game had we known that. But it's it's good. It's good for both teams to just go out and put the jerseys on and with the lights on. I just think that's invaluable. And winning wasn't that important to me tonight. It's just get a bunch of guys out there, get them some minutes, and hope nobody gets hurt.
They cut it to 8 there and called that timeout. Out of that play, I think Nick sets up Josh on a cut for the bucket. Then he gets a steal and sets up Jason for a dunk there. What do you see from your seniors there with the game kind of starting to get tight to pull it back away?
Yeah, a normal game, obviously I'd have taken a timeout or two maybe there, but I wanted to see how they handled it, and see if they could figure it out. And I thought Nick's poise in the quarter court was really, really good. And Iowa State's kind of a hard team to run on, but I thought we had some opportunities in transition where we're able to attack. And Nick's electric with the ball when he gets it in transition and can push it. But to handle that pressure for the early in that game when it's really pretty hot and heavy with that pressure, I thought Nick did a terrific job.
2 things in particular with the guys that were here tonight. Nick, 1 turnover, Blake 5 fouls drawn. Do you feel like that's kind of who those guys can be for you in terms of?
Yeah, Nick's got to run the show, and it's a lot to learn. That's a hard position to learn in 1 year, and I think he's embraced what we need him to do. The scoring's one thing. The 5 assists, 1 turnover is even better. That he's making good decisions against the team as physical and aggressive as they are. And Blake has an ability to get in there and throw his body around, and he uses shot fakes really well and creates angles really well, and going to draw some fouls. So we fouled too much, but I think that's probably a sign of 2 weeks of practice, and hopefully we can clean some of that up. But I think Blake's going to be a guy that we can use in a lot of different ways and he can get to the free throw line.
Coach, can you talk about how the team was able to bounce back so well after falling 6-0 early in the game?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a layup drill for Iowa State there for a while, but we didn't panic, and that was good to see. You had to. I think it's certainly the first time in my coaching career where I've been at a place, not including obviously my first year, that I started 3 guards that weren't on the team the year before. That's really rare. And so there was a lot of questions in my mind on how guys would perform. Defensively, I think you have a tendency in the first game to, especially early, to make sure your guy doesn't score and kind of forget the team concept of defense. And that was the case with some of those plays where they got to the rim and had easy baskets. But the guys did panic. They kept playing. And we were able to go on a pretty big run. And those runs don't happen unless you defend.
Coach, your thoughts on the job TJ has done over the last few years, just
Yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of TJ. Obviously, we're incredibly close friends. He's like a brother to me, and just to watch the way he's evolved as a coach from South Dakota State. They didn't play any defense, and they outscored everybody. And then he was trying to figure it out at UNLV, and then comes to Iowa State and puts in an entirely different defensive system, and they're elite at it. They're one of the best in the country. So. The thing about TJ, he's pretty consistent in his approach, and he has high expectations for the guys he coaches, but he also has very high expectations for himself, and that's what makes him successful. He's one heck of a basketball coach, but it pales in comparison to the person he is.
Heck, I know that you'll have to watch the film back, but just with so many new pieces, what was your first impression of this bunch collectively in this setting for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, there was plenty of good. The first half was probably a little better than I thought we would be capable of at this point. The second half was probably a little worse than I was hoping we'd be capable of at this point. But I tried to once Nick got off the great start, and I just felt like I didn't want him to get hurt, so I didn't play him much the second half. But like I said, this is a glorified practice, so to speak. But now you can, all the things you've talked about in practice and you've pointed out on film, now it's in a game setting, and you can point it out against somebody else. And I think it has more meaning and more teeth when you watch the film with these guys when we get back to the practice floor on Sunday.
Coach, I know it's just an exhibition, but can you kind of talk about how getting a win over a quality team like Iowa State, how that kind of brings momentum for the season coming up?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably exciting for our fans, to know that we're okay, but it means absolutely nothing. There's a ton of stuff that we didn't use tonight that we're saving for when we play them in November, and I'm pretty certain that TJ's, even though his sleeves are much shorter than mine, I think he's got some things up his sleeve that he saved for November as well. I don't even know if he has sleeves, does he? I mean, what?
Two more for Coach.
I'd say that to his face. He knows that.
Coach Deontay Garrett said he hadn't seen you since Wells Fargo Arena 15 years ago. What was it like running into one of your former players?
Yeah, I mean, Deontay means the world to me. I've known him since he was 15, 16 years old, and now his son is 15 years old. So that was it was great to see him. His dad is an usher in Milwaukee where the Bucks and Marquette play. So I always search out his dad every year when we go to that arena, and we have a great visit. But I'm Deontay had a great career, had a cup of coffee in the NBA, and had a great career overseas, and is a great dad now of a son that's 15 and a daughter that's 2, and now he's starting his journey as a coach. So really proud of Deontay, and appreciate that we still have such a great relationship after all these years.
Regarding Jackson and Owen, what do you know about them right now? Do you expect them to have a chance to play against Colorado State?
I mean, it all depends how next week goes. Owen has just really started to do anything full court, but it's limited on the full court. So we have to progress to the point where he's able to do that in practice and then feels okay the next day. Jackson, I think it's just kind of a wait and see. I don't think there's anything major there, but for an exhibition game when something's bothering him, we're not taking a chance. We'll take today, and we're off tomorrow, and he gets a couple more days rest, and we'll see how it is next week. So there's a chance they could play that next week. There's a chance they won't play next week. We'll just wait and see.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
And ladies.
Thanks, Mac.
That's your first
I missed you, John.